This is first contact with the post-Brexit reality of when you've got loads of coaches, understandably, school kids wanting to go off on excursions first time since before COVID. You've got university groups heading off to get some late skiing, maybe in the French Alps, and they've all converged at once. As we heard in that clip that you played, Doug Bannister, the chief executive of the Port of Dover, says we've got 15% more coaches than we were expecting. And he also implied yesterday that coach companies simply have been, ferry companies have been selling more places for coaches than there were space available. But it amounts to, if you're in a car, you've got your family, you're heading over to Calais, you'll be fine. You might have to wait 45 minutes, an hour or something. If you're on a coach, then it is going to be a long wait, I'm afraid. And sadly, all too predictable, Andrew.
I heard you say this yesterday. First contact post-Brexit could get worse next year because of what? Biometrics and the fact that every passport has to be checked, and everyone's going to get fingerprinted as well. How are you going to fingerprint, I don't know, a 12-year-old going on a skiing trip? How are you going to process that quickly? When is that coming in?
Right. Okay. So at the moment, before Brexit, it was very, very straightforward. As you will remember, the only check that frontier officials were allowed to do, and we've got these so-called juxtaposed border controls, which means that French passport control is done in Dover, and indeed down the road in Folkestone at the Eurotunnel terminal. And that previously worked absolutely fine. It meant that as soon as you got to France, you were free to go. And the process was really swift because all they can do is have a look at your passport and say, oh, is this a valid document? Is this actually Andrew Carr? You go. But in reality, as you know, they just sort of take a look at the outside of the passport and wave you on. It was fine. What under the Brexit agreement we signed up for, was to have a much, much tougher regime. They've got to inspect your passport, inspect the passport of those 50 or 60 people on that coach. They then have to stamp the passport. This takes time.